Hey, what's going on, everybody? See about getting some people in here. What's going on, Don English? What's up, more Mopar Man 78? Can everybody hear me okay? What's up, Bad Trees Production? Appreciate that, Mopar 78. How's everybody doing this evening? So, what does everybody want to talk about tonight? Who else we got? Junkyard Willie, how you doing, brother? Jabo, what's up? What's up, Eric? Ah, there you go, Bad Tree. Yeah, we're going to be bouncing around on that, J-Bo. Like I said on the video we did earlier, after the insurance company told the truck out, we kept the truck. And so right now we're debating, we're going to go ahead and put another bed on it for now, make sure the frame's straight on it because we want to go ahead and still try to run it this year. And we're thinking about swapping all the motor and everything over maybe to a Dakota. We'll see how it goes. It's just a thought going on right now. So did everybody watch Tony's video today? We actually took the car outside today so we can see it all out in the daylight. No, the trucker kit has not come in yet. I'm waiting on Kiwi. What's the cheapest way to put a truck 5.7 and an old Mopar? You can go about a couple ways. You can either go find the truck and use the whole wiring harness and everything. And there's a few computer companies out there. I can't name them off by hand right now, but you can actually get a modified wiring harness for it. So that way you're not having to run all the accessories and stuff with it. Other than that, if you want to spend a little bit of money, you can get a standalone computer from Holly. I know the price has gotten down on them a little bit, their battery. As far as putting it in a Mopar, it depends if it's an A body, B body kit. You can get the motor mounts where it bolt directly to the K frame. No, appreciate that, Charles Armstrong. Eric, we actually do have a color already picked, but we're kind of keeping it a secret right now till it gets close to time to paint it. But I think you're all gonna like it. Cool deal, John. Hope you like those heads. Appreciate it, Tony. Yeah, junk car. I mean, it's looking like a car now, man. I put a lot of work in that thing in a short amount of time. But like I said before, the worst thing I've hated about that thing is all that body work, man. I still got some more to do. Got it outside and went out and looked at it. I was like, oh, there's a whole bunch of spots. So I went out and started marking all the spots off. So I'm gonna get some more lights in that back corner where I'm working at. What's going on, John? Douglas, how you doing, brother? Greetings from Canada. I'm not, but my son is. We just got that car the other day, and he actually drove it to work today for the first time. He called me, let me know it made it there. But we're getting ready to find out what the fuel mileage is going to be on that little Honda. Ontario, California. Dude, I've been there a couple times. I'm a truck driver. I've been over to both those TAs. What's going on, Bill? How you doing this evening? We used to call it the West Side and East Side TA over there in Ontario. Yeah, they are, man. They're all fucking heavies, man, unfortunately. I love them, though. They're Ontario, Canada. My bad. What's up, Reed Mopar dude? I appreciate it, brother. I'm going to try and get some more out there, but y'all need to watch them, man. Mopar Man 78. I'm going to be doing a kind of street freak look to my project. 65 dart, skinnies up front, wides in the back, with slotted mags, and rear will be jacked up. Hell yeah, brother. Go for it. Tony, let's see. Is there a big difference between the 426 and the 57? Yeah, the 57 is a small block, but it's still based off the Hemi head platform. And you can do a lot with it. The parts are cheaper than it is for the 426. That's for damn sure. What's going on, Doug? I appreciate it, Otto. But yeah, I'm digging the stance and slag hammer right now. So what's up, 2X? Which manifold are you talking about? Exhaust manifolds, intake manifolds, Reed Mopar? What's up, Ranker? The 6.2 manifold, what year is your 5.7? Anything '09 and up is basically got the same exhaust ports on it. I appreciate that, Doug. Yeah, I got my hands full right now between slag hammer and everything else. You should be able to. Are they out of a car or like a Charger or a Challenger or what? What's up, Rapid Transit? Because I know when we did the Hemi or the Eagle head swap on the race truck, I used later model headers on it, and I had to squeeze them in to right up against the frame. I don't know about the truck, man. I mean, I'm sure. I know we try to put short headers on the truck. It cleared on the driver's side, but not on the passenger side. But with yours being a 2020, I think the frames are like an inch and a half wider than the old four. So you might be able to get away with it if you're going to run shorties. Oh, okay. And it should be fine, I guess. I mean, if they're both Rams and they're both roughly the same years, no, I have not, Mr. Will. I've not measured it yet. Oh, cool deal, John. So what's that in US dollars? Was that about $500? Let's see, Douglas, what's your view on the mid-sized diplomats and Polaris in the 70s? I guess you're wanting to early 80s, maybe? Uh, I've always liked the diplomats. I always wanted to buy one, and the old cop car diplomats that had the 360s in them. And I might still get one of these days. John, that's not a bad deal. 200 US dollars? That was a steal. That motor's worth more than that. Good find, brother. But yeah, I had a buddy of mine that had a diplomat back in the day. He had a Strucker motor in it, and that thing was badass. So Bad Tree, how's y'all's build going on right now? Oh, dude, that'd be cool as shit, man. Read Mopar. I love the old Warlocks. Well, cool. So far, we got about 31 people in the house. I appreciate y'all coming into my first live. Speak freely. We'll find some topics here and see what kind of evening we can have. Let's see, Doug. Will slag hammers sit level when the drivetrain's in? I'm hoping that the front end's going to end up being about 2 inches higher than the rear is what we're hoping for, but I'll be fine with it if it's level. I mean, I can adjust that with the springs and stuff. Mopar Man 78. Yeah, folks, chats. Let's see, correct me if I'm wrong. On super stock springs, one side has an extra leaf or leaves, causing the car to lean. Can you use 2 of the same level out the back? Yeah, I mean, on super stock springs, the whole reason for the one side having more springs is because when you go to get off with the torque, it levels the car back out and helps it sit better. A lot of people adjust that with a coilover setup in the back as well. You can sit and adjust the coil up on the left side a little bit to help bring it leveled out. Some people use like one air shock on one side to do that as well. John, like I said, baby, you stole that thing, and your neighbor was going to scrap it. Let's see, John. Any advice on pulling 5.7 to use for later build? Dude, to be honest with you, grab everything you can grab out of it. With the truck, the wiring harness, the PCM. Uh, Depending on what year it is, it has a wireless key remote in or a chip key. Make sure you get the ignition, all that out of it. Every part you think you're going to need to use on it, AC compressor, radiator, and just wrap everything up and store it. Because basically, what you're doing, you're transplanting everything over to another vehicle unless you want to go with a standalone. Yeah, sometimes you don't get a lane out of the super stock springs. Yes, sir. Gen 3 Hemi will bolt up to a 727 torque flight. It's based off the small block pattern, and you're good to go on that. And like I said, on that one there, you can just get a standalone with that. Appreciate the question there, Bill. I have a Vulcan 3.0 Vulcan V6. Would like to go 4-barrel carb. Do you think it's worth making sheet metal upper manifolds? Do I have a favorite V6 or V8 out of the way? Dude, I made an experiment with it. I mean, you never know what's going to happen with that. Appreciate the question there, Doug or Douglas. That'd be kind of cool to see, actually. I appreciate it, Mopar Mission. Yeah, it's paying off, man. It's been a battle. Rabbit, I would put one on there personally because, man, that PCB system on the 5.7 sucked. I mean, you'd be amazed at how much oil gets in that intake. That's why sometimes on startup, you'll see one smoke for a second, and it's like that on the 6.1s as well. I would recommend highly putting a catch can in it. That'll take away a lot of stuff, and your intake's going to be a lot cleaner. Let's see, Doug, will 540 power be built up to a big block Mopar? Not that I know of. Because you got to realize those back then, those were set up for the 4.7s, the 5.7s. I think diesels, I think might have had their own version of it. What's up, Biker Bob 59? Cheers from Western Canada. Appreciate y'all being here. We got 34 in the room right now. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, they're not a bad transmission though. We got a 545 in the race truck, and I mean, we get that thing held. We've got a 3,500 stall in it, and it's been holding up. The only thing I don't like about it, since we've raced it with the torque converter, is the extra gears in it. Appreciate the question, Lester. Do you think you can take enough weight out of the slag hammer with the holes to make up for the frame? Be honest with you, dude. I'll be lucky if I can get 300 pounds out of that car. That's one of the reasons why we're going big block. So far, I've gotten like 70 pounds out of it so far, and there's not a whole lot more I can take out of this car. So she's just going to be a little bit of a heavy girl, but she'll have the torque and stuff to be able to do what she needs to do. Alex, let's see. When Sidehammer was going to be in the gambler car, wasn't that into it, but when it turned into a street free gasser, I wanted one. I hear you, brother. Of course, my cousin and I, we built some nice little mud cars back in the day. Sketchy Dustin. Well, I mean, everybody's got their opinions, brother. I mean, Tony's got his opinion, and I appreciate his opinion. And but personally, he hasn't built one yet. And I agree with him a little bit on some of the stuff, but there's stuff that you can do to them to take rectify the problems. Like with the oil pressure thing, you can change the spring out, put a different weight spring in. That'll bring the oil pressure up a few pounds. But personally, I hadn't had a problem with the Hemis, man. The great truck out there, when we pulled that motor out to do the race build, that original motor had 261,000 miles on it. We sold it to the guy, and he is still driving that truck today, and that was 4 years ago. Michael, I've been enjoying your channel. For us now, Mopar guys, what is so special about the Eagle heads on the third gen Hemis? All right, if you're building a pre-Eagle Hemi, which is from '03 to '08, one thing is the heads are more open chambered head. Number two, they had an issue with dropping valve seats. In 2009, they replaced that with the Eagle setup, which has got a closed chamber head on it, and they rectified the seat issues. Now, if you take a Eagle head and put on a pre-Eagle block with an 070 gasket, you can get 11.5 to 1 compression with it. There you go, Doug. Mopar mission. I mean, everybody just talks about the Hellcat oil pump on that. The only thing that's different, really, between the pumps is the spring that's in them. I know on the later ones, they make an aftermarket one for the pre-Eagle motors because there's a depth difference between the Eagle and the non-Eagle motors. But a lot of it is just spring pressure. But yeah, I've seen where a lot of people Mopar mission has upgraded the pumps. Willie Freaking 7-1. Yeah, dude, I tell you what, I mean, the newer Hemi head architecture was a huge improvement over the old Iron head. Um, but even when they went from the pre-Eagle to the Eagle head, that was a big improvement. They raised the rocker height on it a little bit. And like I said, they rectified the seat dropping issue. But man, for the price, you can go out and go find a used Eagle motor that's been blown up or something like that, just for the heads for like $300. And if you try to buy those heads separate, like on marketplace and stuff, man, it's anywhere between $400 to $700 just for the heads. But a lot of people don't realize though, you need the rocker arms and everything to go with it, valve covers. But I like messing with the third gen stuff. I mean, it's my biggest limitation right now for me. I'm learning the computer and tuning process, so that's going to take some time. But I love tearing the motors apart. They're easy to work on. Oh, I missed a question back there. Let me grab that real quick. Douglas is Psych Hammer getting willy bars. Not at this time, man. We'll see how it goes down the road. We're going to be running two different gear setups in that thing. I think we're going to be running a 456 when I get back off the power tour. But we'll see how she goes. Doug, man, let's see. Passenger side's not that bad, but I understand 5 and 7 can be a bitch. What I did was I used a real short extension with a swivel on the end of it and kind of like snaked it in around because those are right there underneath that brake booster. Um, that's the easiest way I found out. I mean, it's a pain in the butt regardless, but to me, it was like a simple way to do it is put a short extension with the swivel and just kind of snake it in there. But yeah, it's definitely tight back there in that quarter. You know what? We've thought about Willie King 71. I was talking to him about that a while back about putting some ladder bars on it, and we might still do that later on. But we're going to try the bump stop on it. There's another guy that did a similar build, not necessarily a gasser, and they were using a truck frame, and they made a nice bump stop and worked quite well with adjustable coils in the back. Well, Sketchy does, and like I said, man, that's his opinion. I mean, it's got its faults, but any motor does. Yeah, I mean, when I'm talking about higher oil pressure, I'm not talking about a whole lot. I mean, because usually idle, those Hemis idle about 28, 29 pounds. You can just change the spring out. And just, I mean, you'd be amazed what a pound or two difference will do at idle. Rabbit, yeah, they would look cool underneath there. Mopar mission. Um, we're going to try to hopefully try to get it painted before I go on the power tour. But if it don't, we're just going to have it primered, and then when I get back off it, we'll get it painted. But it should definitely be painted by the time we get to No Name Nationals. Tumbleweed, Texas. Yeah, they do. They do. I mean, all the way across the board. And Millings has a high volume pump. They have 3 different springs in them that you can sit there and put depending on how much pressure you want in it. Mike, this Baesta, I think is your name. I can't. But anyway, Tony actually owns the car right now, and I'm going to be driving it to events and stuff and do my own stuff with it. Appreciate it, Rabbit. Dude, I'm just a laid back guy, man. I mean, there's things that do piss me off and get me wound up, but the older I get, man, it's just not worth it anymore. Doug, it's actually going to get Steelies put on it. I mean, this is going to be major old school. It's going to have 15 by 10 50s in the back, Steelies, and we're going to have the Steelies in the front, but the ones in the front are going to sit in a little bit. I'm going to do Mopar mission. I'm going to get the car primed up, ready to go. One of the junkyard jet guys is actually a painter. So I've been helping them a little bit on their car. So he's going to paint that one for us. Sketchy Dustin, I'm donating my time to both. I mean, Tony and I are really good friends. And a lot of times, I mean, he's really good. For me, it's like a sponge of knowledge on some things. I mean, I build a lot of older shit. He gets a lot more in depth than I do. But Tony and I thought about doing a build together for a few years now. And so basically, yeah, I'm donating my time on this, but I'm also taking this car out. I'm going to be taking it to events and stuff. And so the car is going to get built to go out and do things with, make some money with, and go out and meet the people. That's why sometimes you'll see some things crossed over from his channel over to mine and vice versa. Doug, there's going to be a 383 going in it first. That's to do the power tour with it. And then we're switching over to a 400. Oh, I hear you, Doug. It'll look cool. Mike, we were thinking about painting it green at first, but like I said, man, the color picked out, I think you're all going to like it. It's going to bring it really back to old school days. Yes, Mike, 383 Beaufort. Doug, Slam Hammer needs a boogie van paint job. Dude, no doubt, man. That would look wicked as hell. And it might end up getting something like that down the road. But right now, what we've got is going to be a single stage color. And it's going to have some nice logos and stuff on it. But a lot of people were talking about doing a lace top on it. I mean, yeah, that would look badass. Cool. 391's not a bad gear there above our ram. Ken, my son's doing great, man. Appreciate you asking. Oh, no problem, John. Appreciate it, Al. What's next for Slaghammer Mopar mission? Basically, there's some body work I got to finish up on it and try to get as close as I can. And we got to get the seats bolted in. We got to get the finish getting the roll cage in, get it welded in. Um, but like I said, I mean, there's the odd things still got to do the brake system and everything on it. So there's a lot to do in a short amount of time. So that's why I'm saying I don't know we're going to have it painted in time for the power tour. Let's see. The 383, we're not really going for a whole lot of horsepower. We're going for more reliability because the power tour it's going to be about 1,500 miles by the time I'm said and done, not counting probably the trip going to Memphis to start it and then driving from Atlanta back to Tennessee. It's going to have a nice little cam in it. It's going to be able to roast tires pretty good. We're going to leave the 323 gear in the rear in it for this. But I think it's going to be pushing a little bit over 400. But like I said, we're going for more reliability, so that way I'm not having to carry parts with me. John, let's see. How much total investment into slag hammer when finished do you think? Um, I say probably between the two engines and everything, depending how far we go. I think we're going to sit roughly maybe right about 5 grand for the most part, plus or minus. What interior, Will King? Dude, it's going to be basically nothing in it for a set of racing seats, a roll cage, some gauges, and a steering wheel. It's going to have, like I said, windows for the doors and the side, regular glass front and back. But it's just going to be loud, rude, nasty, and obnoxious. So I'm definitely going to be wearing earplugs. Doug, let's see what's the plans for the noise. Depends what kind of headers we get. We're looking for a set of side dumps to put on it. Appreciate it, Ken from Belgium. Dude, I wish you luck on it, Mopar, man. I mean, like I said, man, you get to a certain point, man, you just want to strangle yourself or burn the car down. But at the end of the day, once you're done, you can look back at it and say, I did this and it hauls ass. John, I don't know about a million holes, but we're going to get some holes in it. It's going to be more nostalgia looking than anything. I mean, like I said, I mean, we're not really going to be able to get a whole lot of weight out of it. Nah, Mike, when we're on the tour, we're going to have probably a set of cherry bombs, something underneath it. But I mean, it's still going to be loud. No doubt, Doug. If it's too loud, you're too old. Randy Barrows, are you going to put a cigarette lighter in slag hammer? You know it, brother. That's the last vice I've got left, man. I gave up everything else. And I really need to quit smoking. Yeah, that's what we're thinking about getting, man. We're going. We've already talked about getting the purple hornies for them with a quick release. So yeah, man, it's gonna look good. But no, ever since I got that COVID, man, I've got was that long term COVID effects. I'm still having issues with breathing and shit. I went from going from packing half cigarettes a day to a pack every 2 days, and sometimes I don't even finish smoking the whole thing. But it's the last crutch I got left. Tennessee won't make it legal for pot, so my cigarettes are kind of like people's pot and everything else, man. That's funny, Doug. That's funny. I had an uncle that chain smoked, man. When I was a kid, man, he used to freak me out. And he rolled his own cigarettes. He'd be halfway down on one and be sitting there twisting another one up. Now, I've been trying these new little, I don't know who makes it, but it's like a one pouch that are, it's like a powder with just nicotine in it. The company I drive for don't let us smoke in the trucks. So I use those. Those help out pretty good. And then I'll stop like 3 hours in my trip and smoke a cigarette and put another pouch in. It seems to work a little bit. Yeah, I know. Cigs are bad, brother. What's up, Gizmo? Not too bad, man. We got 44 people in here right now. I mean, it's not too bad, man. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Hey, Unity Sports, what's going on, Andy? Boy, I can't wait for that one between Andy and Tony. We'll see how that goes. What's going on, Brother John? Because I'm definitely going to like to see that race between Andy and Tony on that award. Because I know Tony's going to blow that car up. Oh, appreciate it, Andy. My neighbors did that for me. They own a sign company. Right, Mike? Dude, I tell you what, my son took a race truck. We got a thing over here in Tennessee called Smoke on the Mountain with Beam Diesel, and he goes every year for the burnout. And he tows a set of tires off the back of that truck. And even today, man, from last year, you can get in that truck and you still smell rubber. Mr. Will, what's going on, brother? Nice to see you over here. We'll see, Mark. Once he gets that motor built, we're going to have to get some test hits on it for sure. Hey, I want to kind of see what the Junkyard Jets 360 is going to do. That thing's got two kits on it. Boy, you got that right, Rabbit. Dude, they're still caked up rubber underneath that truck from 2 years ago. I told him we got to need to get over some heat and get it all cleaned out. Oh, I hear you, Willie King. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, the money's going to a good cause. So, I mean, it's a win win. Rabbit, I ain't even thought about an ET time yet for Sly Harry. I'll think about that after the power tour, and then we change the gear ratios out and get that 400 built, and then we'll figure out from there. I know we're probably going to put. We're still flipping between a 3500 and a 4500 stall on that when we put the 400 in, but we're just going to have to see what's going to work out best because we really don't know what the horsepower is going to be on that 400 yet when we get done with it. Mopar Man 70, dude, I have no idea if they can handle that much power. And with it being a stick car, I mean, they got a lot of stuff they're going to have to do. But I give them credit, man. These kids, I mean, they're doing a hell of a job. I know you don't see a whole lot going on with them, but I mean, basically, all these dudes really don't have the knowledge of building their car. And I mean, they ask questions all the time, which is great. And I try to help them out as much as I can. But I like it that the young kids are wanting to do something like this with an older car because it seems like the art of that is going away so fast now. Right? Mopar Mission said junkyards going to have liquid pistons. I hear you. But I mean, they had the gap right in it, and they've got a good set of pistons in it. So we'll see how it goes. As long as they run the right plug in it and retard the timing enough, we'll see how it goes. Gizmo, do you think it's better to work a daytime job as a mechanic or just fix and sell cars on your own cars? Dude, I mean, be honest with you, I mean, where my son works at, he works nights and he loves it. And I'm getting ready to get out of driving a truck, and I'm probably gonna start doing the same thing. But I flip like 5 cars a year, man. That's what kind of gives me my extra play money to do our bills with. So it's whatever you feel like doing, man. At the end of the day, as long as you got a roof over your head and your bills paid and you're happy, it's all that matters. Oh, I hear you, Mike. Once you get it sorted out, I know they're not going to do too much on the body on that car, and they're basically just getting it. The inside of the car is going to be cool. The motor's going to be cool. I mean, I don't know exactly what gear setup they're going to do yet, but I'm looking for them to get their car done. Oh, you're right, Mr. Will. A lot less kids want to even do stuff like that. I mean, they're more interested in video games and everything else. And that's one thing I like about my son. I mean, he grew up around me back when I had mud trucks. Hell, when he was 5 years old with my Ram chart, he was holding the fuel pump up for me underneath the truck. And we found his niche. I mean, he was the same way. He didn't want to do sports or play music. And where, I've had a band off and on all my life. And at 14, when we got that Corvette, it turned into a gearhead from hell. Boy, you're right, Andy. You are right. Um, Doug or Douglas, I'm not sure yet. He's got a couple 650 Hollies um, that he's going to rebuild. We're fighting back and forth between those or getting a set of Carters or something on it, or a set of Ellie Brocks. So we're probably going to be playing with carburetors for a little bit. Oh, you're right, Doug. I mean, my son's finding that out now, and he's got his friends call. Hey, man, can I come over and you work on this? And I just told him, I said, you know the magic word, no. And I mean, I don't mind people helping people out once in a while with their shit because sometimes they don't have a whole lot of money. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you love what you're doing, it's not a job. But if it gets to the point to where you're working on other people's shit and you look at yours, it's like, man, I just don't want to deal with it. Yeah, it's a thing. Oh, you're right, Mike. People use way too much. Cool, Rabbit. Yeah, the 79 Cordovas. I mean, those body styles, man, those transferred all over the place. The Magnum, the Cordova, the Chargers. They're all similar looking cars. I mean, the only thing I didn't like about them was the damn lean burn system that came in them. Ripped that shit out. Oh, they make a nice hot rod, dude. But yeah, Doug, I mean, nitrous, man, it's like everything else. You got to match it up with what you got. Your rig gap, your plug, your timing, how much horsepower the motor is, non-aspirated. It's like everything else. You got to match it up. It's like you got a motor that's doing 700 horse, and you got a shit transmission in the wrong stall or wrong set of gears. I mean, it's just not going to work. Everything's got to match. It's like with us with the race truck out there. It's non-aspirated right now, and it's only back up right now is the gear issue. We still got a 355 gear in it. So it's kind of like a dog when it gets off the line, but once it bangs second, it's gone. So we're going to be switching that over to a 456. Oh, I hear you, Andy. Oh, I bet that was nice, Doug. So Eddie, how's it going on with your build? Is it getting closer? Um, he's getting ready to order them. Mopar mission. Um, we found them a couple months ago online. The 15 by 1050 Steelies, and they're actually not a bad price for them. But we brought up a bunch of pictures and stuff of the old gassers, of the 5 stars, and the old timers, the 500 wheels, and stuff like that. And we just think that the stock looks badass. Kind of reminds me of the old race cars back in the day in the 50s and 60s. Terrence from New Zealand, how's it going, brother? Oh, I hear you, Lester. I used to have a 65 Barracuda that I did some work on, and I used to have people stop me. Hell, I've had a couple people stop me in the race truck, and it's like, man, what the hell's in that thing? Because it's loud as shit with that 3-inch exhaust on it. No, you're welcome, Terrence. Oh, I hear you, Randy. It's like the video we did the other day. My son, we went out and bought a '89 Honda Civic that he's going to be using as a daily driver because it was running him $40 a day in the truck and $35 a day in the SRT8 to drive back and forth to work. He's still going to drive out on the weekends though. Have a good one, Andy. Thank you for stopping in. There you go, Doug. I'm still driving my stuff too. So, my son's young and, money's a little tight off and on for him. He's trying to get money saved up. And so I don't blame him. Hey, what's going on, Wild Rose Garage? Oh, I hear you, Doug. I'm getting ready to start riding my bike here a little bit too. I rode it a couple weeks ago to work, and it only cost me $8 in gas to go there and back. So, how's everybody on the 500 deal on doing their subs? Everybody getting their subs like they want to? Anybody needing some help? Oh, appreciate it there, Lazy. Not doing too bad for my first one. I appreciate everybody coming in and joining in. But yeah, I went by the shop today, just working uh, slag hammer, and there was a guy that showed up with one of those little Groms that Tony was talking about the other day. I don't know how they ride those things, man. I know my big ass couldn't do it. I appreciate it, Lazy. Yeah, but who wants to buy the subs, Sketchy? I mean, It's kind of like buying a built car or building it yourself. You get more satisfaction doing it on your own. But I understand you. Well, Rose, how's that build going on that motor? Yes, it is. And that's funny because a lot of these people on YouTube, and I found out talking to other people, I mean, there's people out there that go out and buy their subs and everything and buy their watches and stuff so they can get their numbers up. And then when they quit doing it, you just see their numbers drop down to like they were like first starting out, like I am. I hear you, Doug. I got a 91 Road Glide I ride now. That's a heavy girl, but I like her. Yeah, Sketch, we're going to put an exhaust on it. I mean, to do the hot rod tour. And then after that, I mean, if there's local events, I'll drive the car there. If not, like for the drag strip and stuff, it's going to be trailered. Oh, I hear you, junk car. Dude, you're going to get your subs, man. I've been watching some of your stuff. I like it. Oh, there's a big difference, man, Willie King, between two strokes and four strokes. That's for damn sure. One of my funnest bikes was an RD 400. Lazy A-hole says, "We got you, Willie." Rob's Robin Streets card says he's already subscribed, Willie. Oh, appreciate it, Lester. Yeah, it's going to take a few to get used to it, man. I'm just kind of reading the comments right now. I just kind of figure out what everybody wants to talk about. I mean, hell, y'all see our videos all the time, so you kind of know where we're coming from. Cool. Oh, Doug, let's see. My driver is a 97 Valkyrie, and my current project is a 79 CBX, and I also have dad's old 72 CB750. Dude, I wished I had my dad's old CB750. That thing was badass. You could hear that thing 5 miles away. I remember when I was a kid, I'd start hearing that bike come down that country road. I knew how to hurry up and whatever I was doing was wrong and get it put out of the way before he got home. Rob, yeah, I know it'll be fun. I actually had fun the other night with John Wilbur, and then last Wednesday I had to fill in for Dallas. He wasn't feeling good. I was working at the shop, and Tony had me come in on a live, and I had a lot of fun with that. Oh, I hear you, Mike. Some of them were smoky, man. If the mixture wasn't right, I remember when the Dino first came out, and we started using that. Man, it smelled like peanut butter going for blocks. Appreciate it, brother. We got Uncle Tony in the house right now. Oh, I hear you, Michael. My dad had I think he had like a 412 kit or something like that in his. And man, when that battery was dead, it was a pain in the butt to get that thing kick started. Yeah, I heard people run castor oil, man. I never did it personally. Yeah, I know Tony right now, he's kind of fighting with himself. He's wanting to get like an enduro bike or something. I hear you, Doug. I used to have a bad motorcycle addiction back in the day. I used to build Honda CB 350s and 354s and run light to light with the 1100s. And let's just say I blew a lot of them up. What's up, Creed 82? Man, it's going great for my first live, man. Glad you come in and join us. Yeah. Oh, they are, Doug, but man, those pistons are small on those bastards. I know that. Let's see. Terrence Seaboard. I mentioned you on the UTG Live last night that I had a DR 370 that the timing was a bit too far advanced and kicked it over one day and had it kicked back and go through. Dude, I wouldn't doubt it. It's like that Sportster that Tony's got. If you don't prime that thing up the right way, it'll take a knee and an ankle out. Oh yeah, it does, Tony. I mean, it was a sexy little bike, man. You find one today that's in pristine condition, man. There wasn't an arm and a leg for them now. I like to find another one of those. I hear you, Gizmo. Yeah, that was a thing back in the day, man. I mean, Doug on the 750s, man. You know, and a lot of bikes back then going four into one. My dad had a nice Triumph back in the day too, and he had that thing straight pipe, man. That thing was wicked loud. All right, brother. You have a good one, Tony. Well, I thought my retirement bike was going to be a Honda Interstate because it had the reverse assist on it, and I'm not to the point yet to get on a trike. But my singer had this 91 Road Glide and our Road King, and I got a really good deal on it. I mean, it's a heavy bike, but I'm getting around with it. I'm liking it. Unkilled Big Bad. Hey, y'all, hit the like on my way in, but got bumped offline. No good deed goes unpunished. That's cool, Doug. I was really never a big fan on the six-cylinder bikes. I don't know why. I had a neighbor of mine that had one. I mean, it was a nice looking bike, man. It's kind of like with cars, man. It has, you gel with the car. It's like people gel with bikes. Yeah, they are, Mike. The old Triumphs with fingerprint in. I actually used to like the old BSAs. Oh, cool deal, Wild Rose. You had a 69 and a 71. Open bio. Slag Hammer is looking awesome. I'll be there to watch it. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I can't wait to get that car done, man. Because I got that going on. I got the 440 build I'm doing for Kiwi, waiting on the structure kit for it. Plus this 5.7 I'm working on. And then we need to get on my son's 6.1 SRT8. He's wanting to do some mods to it. Oh man, that was definitely old school Wild Rose. Let's see, Cosmic Silence, Tony Mopar and Mopar. Ever been interested in Chevy Fords or anything else keeping with the gassers? Would you guys consider a Tri-5 Chevy build? Hmm. I mean, I'll try anything, dude. I mean, to me, cars are cars. I just prefer Dodge. I grew up around Dodge. I've owned a few Chevys back in the day. I had a Ford Falcon and a Maverick. What's going on, Galaxy? Let's see. Let's see. Cave Dave, I have a 65 limit satellite with a single cylinder master brake cylinder. Can I use a 67 dual brake cylinder for conversion? Oh, yeah. I mean, you can use 67 on up. Just make sure you get the right brake rod to go from the pedal to the booster and everything, but you shouldn't have an issue. Appreciate it, Galaxy. It's been a long road on that thing in a short amount of time. I'm really digging the car now. Doug, I love the older bikes, man. I really do. I mean, I don't care if they're overseas or here. I mean, I like the Harleys, the Indians, the VSAs, the Triumphs. I mean, all those bikes were cool back in the day. The Nortons. No problem, Galaxy. I mean, it's been a hell of a ride. I've enjoyed everybody that's been with me on it, and it's got a little bit more to go. I still got. I tell you, the bike I never really got used to was the BMW bikes when they had the side cylinders out. And I got a friend of mine that's got one, and I figured, but he says the bike is well balanced. You're correct, Mopar Mission. He's going to need a proportioning valve on that setup. That's right, Doug. Snorton Norton. Oh man, nice bike, Galaxy. 66 Triumph Trophy with Bonnie heads. Oh, dude, I bought a couple basket cases in my days, man. I mean, there were fun builds. I only had one that I didn't never finish up. Oh, I hear you, Willie King. There was another bike. I can't remember the manufacturer. A friend of mine had one, but it had hydraulics on the motor to help keep the bike centered. I really couldn't answer that one, Mike. Maybe someone else in here. How about a broad track bike on the street? I hear you, Galaxy. I'm getting ready to retire here in about another 3 or 4 years. Let's talk a little bit about hot rods, man. What kind of hot rods does everybody got? I appreciate it, Brian. I tell you what, man, as heavy as that car is weight wise, I mean, you can push that car with one hand right now. I mean, even though the motor's not in it, but I mean, you can just wheel it right out the door. Man, a Vincent Black Shadow. I've only seen a couple of them. Eric, 69 Camaro. Oh, cool, Roger. Roger Bagwell, hoping to get to work on a 63 Stuttgart. My parents' wife, grandparents bought it new. Man, that ought to be nice. Wilkins 71, 71 Chowder to 383. I tell you what, man, out of the e-bodies, I mean, a lot of people like the Barracudas and stuff, but I've actually liked the Challenger. I like the lines on the Challenger. Doug's got an 83 short box two-wheel drive D150, getting a 413 put in it. See, Michael's got a 29 Ford Roadster, work in progress, 283 3-speed, all 50 style. Cool deal, man. Oh, I love the 8-body darts too. There, Mopar Mission. Cool. I'll tell you what, one of the best trucks I had, man, was actually Plymouth's version of the Ram Charger, the Trailblazer. And man, I love that thing. It was a old forestry truck from Florida, and I actually bought it up here in Tennessee. And so to me, it was kind of meant to be. And I had a blast in that thing, man. I did all kind of mud bogs with it and everything else. Brian R., my brother-in-law, has 6 Super Bs. Boy, that's one hell of a savings account. And that's what's cool about, man, when y'all own these old cars, man, they're investments. I look at it this way: I buy cars and I flip them, and it's to me, it's kind of like my savings account. I put some money off to the side, I put the other towards the bills that I do. Trailblazers aren't bad. I have a lot of friends of mine have those. I like the fact that with my Plymouth Trailblazer and stuff, and with the Ram charges, the older models you can sit there and take the tops off, and I end up learning how to take that top off by myself. But that was years ago. I couldn't do it now. My back's about gone. Bob Bump working on my '87 Dodge W100 30 over 440 727 P208, trying to get the engine wired and plumbed so I can get it broken in on the stand. Dig into a 4-pin resistor mock up now. Cool deal, man. I had an old Dodge Stepside that had a 440, and I love that thing. Oh, they are, Mo. I mean, there's no difference between the two. I mean, between the Ram Charger and Trailblazer. I mean, it was just name. I mean, and a couple little things. That was it. CW, I appreciate it, brother. But yeah, I missed that old truck, man. I quit mudding with it just before we got this house in '07. The last time I took it out was Ethan and I took it on a trailer to Lakeland, Florida, down there to the drag strip. They had a mud hole down there that I went and came back, and it sat for about 3 or 4 years, and it's like wasn't worth it just sitting there. I was doing other things, so I sold it, and my son was pissed. But one of these days, I'll probably own another one. I hear you, Brian. I tell you what, my first car I actually had was a Buick Apollo. And living in Central Florida, in the Tampa area back in the day where I grew up at, we didn't have garages. We used to work on our cars on the street, and it was these big square asphalt bricks. And I would be out there pulling a motor out or tranny, and man, the neighbors would get on to me. But man, I tell you what, that was some of my best times of having fun back then. Well, Rose, appreciate you coming in, brother. You have a good one. Hope to see you here soon. See, Alex Coe's got a '68 Charger in pieces and an F-250 4x4. Man, I can't believe what the Chargers are going for right now in pieces. There was one in my neck of the woods that got sold a couple of weeks ago. I mean, this thing was rotted to the gills, no frame rails in it. I mean, this car was going to have to be complete from the ground up. I think the only thing that was good on it was the firewall, the dash, and the vent on it. And that dude sold it for $12,000. Let's see, Mopar Man 78. If someone is looking for a complete car, but like picture up, my buddy has a '65 4-door Plymouth Valiant for sale here in Branson, Missouri. Slant six car, auto on the column. Unkilled Big Bad's got a '76 Sunbird Oddfire 231 with 350 flat tops, high port heads, old Crane Fireball, T50 dogleg, 5 speed, 256 rear, 80 turbo setup off a Regal. Too scared to be top end. Dude, man, that sounds like a cool deal, man. Oh my God, Doug. Been to 1324. I had a '74 Datsun 260Z drag car I'm working on. Let's see, it has a back half of the 4 link, twin turbo setup, also having a 300 horsepower turbo 95 Honda Civic for fun, cheap daily to play with. Cool deal, man. I'll have to check it out, Mopar 78. But that kind of brings me up something. My cousin and I, back to the budding days, we used to build all kind of shit. And one of the things we built, we took a 240Z and put it on a Suzuki Samurai frame. We had to extend the frame out 27 inches. And we had it up on 44s, half ton running gear. Had an AMC built motor in it, and we never used to four-wheel drive it, but man, that thing was a blast. Oh, you're right, Mopar Vision. They're fetching big bucks. I have a neighbor right down the bottom of the hill from me for years. He had a '73 Challenger base car 318. It was banana yellow black top, and I tried for years to buy that car off of him. He wouldn't do anything with it. It was complete minus the motor. Of course, it needed a shitload of body work. And all of a sudden, one day I saw a truck pull up with a ramp, and they were loading this car on it. And I went over there, and I tried to buy the car right then and there off the guy. And he paid like $1,200 for the car, and I offered him $3,000 for it right there on the spot. And that time I had a '07 Charger RT that I just got finished putting the motor in. I was going to flip. I said, dude, I'll trade you even car for car. I said, I just want that car. Well, it never happened. And then a year later, he comes to my door. He's wanting to start a hemp farm and wants to sell the car to me for $5,000. And then wanted to know if I still possibly have the Charger. And I was like, dude, that deal done came and went. But my buddy ended up dying like 2 weeks after he got rid of the car. See, Brian R. See, rebuilding a slant six for my '66 Lone Star cruise liner, 2.24 foot cabin cruiser. Cool. But there's still some good deals out there, man. I mean, the cream of the crop stuff has gotten way too expensive. And me, I'm not really set on a certain model. And it's like the video that Tony and I did today. We are talking about the slag hammer deal, and someone brought up, about building another Street Freak gasser. I got a friend of mine up in Crossville that's got a '64 Plymouth Bounty he's wanting me to buy, and it's a clean car. I mean, I might go ahead and just buy it, stash it off to the side until I get ready to do something with it, or if we want to do something at Tony's garage. I don't know. Let's see. Where'd it go? Angela 427. Now I got an '09 Charger, makes 379 horsepower at the wheel with a hot tune and a long tube. 6 wants to do a 6.4 cam. Cam swap and keep the factory cam phaser. What do you think? And what lifters do you like? On the lifter deal, it's hit and miss. I know there's some aftermarket ones out there. I can't remember the name of the company, but they make a real high quality lifter, but they're not cheap. As far as putting a 6.4 cam in it, be honest with you, dude, I'd say you need to get a hold of is either get a hold of MMX or Fly and Grind. I mean, they make some excellent grind cams, versus doing this regular 6.4 cam in it. So Brian R, how do you measure out specs out a cam? A slant has marine spec, and I think the cam is special. Want to know what I have to so I can know where I can improve. On a boat application, I'm not really sure how that works. Because I know you're dealing with different variables. You're dealing with being in the water, than on the street. Let's see. I mean, the base thing is, I mean, measure your base out, measure your height of your lift out. And I actually was talking with somebody, I think it was on John Wilbur. There's a lot of old timer cam people grind their own cans and stuff. Somebody mentioned there's a place out in North Carolina that does that stuff. You're all right, Doug. They're made to perform at a higher RPM. FM and J body Mopars, cheap sleepers, Deloria Aspens, diplomats, dude. You're right, dude. We were talking about that earlier with the diplomats and stuff. I like to find an Aspen. There've been a lot of those on the market here lately. Especially the Astons, man. I thought back in the day when they came out with those, they were kind of competing a little bit with the Novas and stuff, in my opinion. Oh, I hear you, Doug. Super cool. Dude, I'm to the point, man. Any car would be nice to, to stroke up on, man. I like to find me an old Studebaker truck and do a Hemi swap of it. There, find me an old Warlock. I used to like the old step sides. Oh, I hear you, man. I mean, you can find the step sides all day long. There's actually find a true Warlock. I mean, Warlock. I mean, I can probably do a tribute, but I don't know. I just kind of like the Warlocks better than I did the Little Red Dragons. Oh, I know. It's like the ones I found, man, and a lot of them. I mean, they're just so rotted out. Ah, the Marauder. My dad actually had a couple of Magnums. He had the gray and black with the white top, and he had the red with the white top. And both of them had some major electrical issues with them, but they were nice cars. 440 powered Midnight Express. Let's see. Be damn 1321. My friends are all younger and couldn't afford classic muscles, so they just LS swapped lightweight, cheap import cars like the FX7s, the L Supras, the SC300s, the Miatas, etc. A tin can with V8 power goes fast. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do the LS swaps. I mean, I grant them, man. They're cheap to do. You can find them really cheap at the junkyard, and I've seen a lot of people do a lot of LS swaps. I just always stand true not to really crossbreed stuff unless it's like a real old car, like the Studebakers or something like that. I usually try to stay true. That's what used to kill me with all the Ford Roasters and stuff, and having the 350s in them because they were cheaper to do. I mean, they look cool, but that's just me. Ah, there you go, 340 spot with arrow. Oh, I hear you, Bob Bump. Ah, cool deal, Mopar 78. I appreciate it. I actually saw one on the marketplace today. The body was pretty ratty in it. The bed wasn't in bad shape. But this would probably be a couple years down the road. I got too much shit going on right now. I think one of my favorite cars growing up as a kid, my stepmom had a 68 Dodge Dart, and that thing was badass. 4 speed on the floor, and it was basic. I mean, it was red with white stripe on the back of the trunk and chrome steelies from the factory on it. And I just loved that car when I was a kid. Brian, you have a good one, brother. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate it, Brian. Um, I actually haul cars for a company. I have a route that I do at night going from Indianapolis back here to Tennessee. Eric, it's like here we're going to have power steering. No, we are using the manual steering box that was on the truck frame. And I tell you what, I love the ratio on that gearbox. Yeah, we're still going, brother. We're just chatting about old cars and Studebakers and motorcycles and hot rods and how expensive rusted out Chargers are still going for. But Sledgehammer's going to be basic, man. I mean, no power steering, no power brakes. I mean, there's going to be no accessories. The only thing I'm going to do to it is I'm going to hook up a windshield wiper unit and do the when I do the power tour just in case it rains. Curious Yellow CUDA. Hey Al, 71383 CUDA '05 Hemi Ram. And now I got some 440s. Just picked up looking for a 71 Demon or a 68 Dart. Ooh. I hadn't seen either one in a while that have been worth the shit. I still see them pop up once in a while in the marketplace. How's she running, brother? Batteries. He just snuck the Barracuda home and rode my bike back to HQ for more beers. Appreciate it, brother. I got a friend of mine, Vince. He just picked up, I think it was a 68 or a 69 Barracuda from Florida, from a friend of his down there. And this body was about mint. It was already prepped for paint. He got it back up here to Tennessee, just put a real nice green paint job on it. And it's not like the old avocado green looking thing. I can't remember what Dodge color it is. And he put just the right amount of metal flake in it, and that car's gonna look badass. He's building a 340 for it right now. What's going on, Colleen Tebow? How you doing? Oh, I hear you, Bob, but I'm used to that. I mean, I used to do mud trucks and trail riding and stuff like that. I mean, this car here, man. I mean, it's gonna do the hot rod tour, and then after that, it's gonna be hitting drag strips and events and stuff like that. So I'm not too worried about it. But like I said, I do like the ratio on that gearbox. I mean, it's not gonna be an everyday car, so. But I understand the stumps, man. I had a power steering go out in my Trailblazer one time, and let me tell you what, it was a pain in the ass out in the woods. Right, Doug? Oh, got that rattle can sound in the exhaust. You get it figured out, brother. I tell you, the hardest thing I'm having to try to find right now for slag hammer. I want to set a side duct clear well headers for it without having to go out and buy them new. And man, I have not been able to find them anywhere. Because I think it'll finish that car off just right. Cool deal, Terrence. Oh, 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 rallies. Man, I went in AutoZone the other day to go buy some parts for my Ram pickup truck. I had to change the wheel bearing or the wheel hubs in it, and I thought I had one going bad. I mean, you know as well. I know some of y'all have worked on these and mechanicals and stuff. Usually, if you hear the bearing roaring on one side, it usually ends up being on the other. Well, this time it just happened to be both of them. One was just worse than the other. And I bought one 3 years ago for the racetrack and it was on like $110. And that same wheel hub assembly now is 145. Oh, I hear you, David. That's got to find it at a good price. I just don't want to spend the $600 to $800 for a set. Like I said, that car is a budget build. Oh, it's like the mufflers we got for the race truck. I ordered those online, and the 3-inch race mufflers, nothing in them except for a V band inside of it, and they're about 8 inches long, if that, and it makes that truck sound nasty as hell. Eric, I got several fast food favorite. I don't know. We got a fast food Mexican restaurant here in town that makes some pretty good food. Yeah, I heard the Dynamax were pretty decent. What's up, Vince? Appreciate it. What I like about glass packs, man, the old school glass packs, is when you burn them out. Once they burn out, that's the best sounding pipe you ever heard. The only fast food we get is when I take the Challenger out and pick up pizza. CW, did you and your son get the Honda squared away? Pretty much, man. We worked on it all night last night. He was down determined he was going to drive to work today, and he went to rotate the tires on it last night. There was one that's kind of a little got some inside wear going on, so he was going to put it in the back because the other three tires were due on it. And then he found out he needed to get some brakes too. But I mean, it's not a bad car for what he paid for it. It's an '89. But basically, I replaced the distributor in it, new plugs, new plug wires. We cleaned out the air idle circuit on it, and other than that, I mean, he changed the oil in it, and he drove to work today and called me and said it did great going to work. So hopefully it'll work out for him. Well, hell, Doug, they're already burned out. I mean, they're broke in, ready to roll. we'll find out here in a couple of days what kind of fuel mileage he gets with it. I've had other people tell me you can get up to 30 miles a gallon with them, so we'll see what's up. Yeah, MagnaFlows are pretty good. My cousin up in Michigan, I think that's what he's got on his. See bits, who spraying slag hammer, single stage metallic paint, or get it running first? Probably going. One of the junkyard jet guys went to school for automotive painting and stuff, so I'm probably going to get him to paint it. It's going to be a single stage. A lot of people ask what color it was going to be. We're going to wait until later on to reveal the color. As far as getting it ready in time for paint, I don't know. I mean, our main priority now is for me to get the bodywork finished up to the point where we can put a primer sealer on it and get it running so I can have it ready for to go on the hot rod tour. And if it doesn't get painted by then we'll just have to do it when I get back off of it. Edmus 97. If I don't know if it's still up on his YouTube or not, but a few weeks ago he did a live, his Wednesday night live with Dallas, and they actually fired up the car a few times. The motor's ready to go. He's got just about everything buttoned up. I think there's a couple little things he needs to finish up real quick, but I think next week he's probably going to do some test hits out in the parking lot, and then possibly um, get ready to take it to track, do some test hits with it. But yes, it is running. Well, we'll see, CW. I mean, I think that the average on that was like 27 to 28. But if we can get 30 out of it, a little more, it'd be great. Doug, have a good one, brother. I thank you for coming in with us tonight, and we'll see you down the road. Yeah, because there's been a lot of people have been asking about slag hammer and stuff. Because I actually watched some of Tony's videos and I looked at the comments and stuff, and the easiest way, man, is to just hit the older videos and stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people don't go back to the old videos and stuff, but kind of go back through there. But it should be one of the Wednesday night lives. I know he doesn't keep his up for a long period of time, so I don't know if it's still there or not. Oh, me too, David. I hope it works. I mean, that was one of the main issues with that car was it was starving for oil on the back girdles, and so by the time he sucked the oil up, it wasn't getting back fast enough. So I think now it holds 7.5 quarts. So hopefully that'll take care of the issue. But I tell you what, man, that little slant six sounds righteous. Yeah, I hear you, John. I mean, sometimes he keeps them up 48. I guess it just depends on the video on how it goes. But I think Dallas is supposed to be back with him this Wednesday night. Well, I know this no name national event that Dallas and John Wilburn has put together is going to be. I hope they do it every year. Yeah, I mean, because it looks like this is going to be a big turnout this year, and I hope that they do it at different tracks. That'd be kind of cool too. Let's see, Anthony Roan. Hey, Mopar Al, what is the ideal setup for a carbureted late model Hemi? Thanks in advance. Basically, the way the standalone market now, computer wise, I mean, you can do anything. Holly makes a real nice standalone computer system that either runs, you can run fuel injection or carburation with it. And from what I've heard, they're supposed to be pretty easy to deal with as far as tuning applications and stuff like that. I know that the Kiwis build that we're doing was his nickname Himibishi, which is basically uh, a Mitsubishi Starion slash Conquest. He's putting a 5 speed in that, so we're doing a standalone, but he's wanting to run the fuel injection on it. Now, Anthony, what kind of transmission are you going to run behind? Are you going to run 727 or are you going to do a 4 speed setup? Oh, cool deal. What kind of rear gear are you going to have in it? I think Mopar Man, looking at the pan, I think he used about 3 inches of the pan off. He took the bottom part out of the 360 pan. Well, there's a couple intakes out there for the carbureted version of the Hemi. OCP makes one. You can either use it as a carbureted intake or drill it out for injection. I think you can get a couple of them from Mopar Direct. So you plan on racing this all the time, Anthony, or is it going to be a street car as well? Oh, cool. What's up, my next project? How's the weather up that way? Oh, okay. Anthony, I know a lot of people run the 456. You're going to be running 8th mile tracks? But yeah, Anthony, if you want, check out MMX, and they sell OCP intake, and I can't remember, or you might be able to go to them direct. And he did one of those setups on the Barracuda. He started out with, I think, carburation, then he finally went over to injection. But I love that intake. I've got it on our Hemi truck out here, and it worked out really great because Ethan wanted to keep all the accessories on it, and that was the best intake to get at the time. Oh, okay, cool deal. So that's right there in your backyard, Anthony. Shopcat Industries. Hi, I'm Mopar Al. Cheers from Alberta. No snow today, just nice warm, unlike yesterday. I hear, brother. The weather has been so weird here lately. Vince, what transmission is going on the slag hammer? We're putting a 727 in it. We're going to build it, and we're still trying to figure out what stall we're going to put in it when we get it back off the the hot rod tour. Try to figure out if we can go with a 35 or a 4500 stall. Depends what gear we put in it. Med, let's see, Med Gas Live. Tell us about Jector Jet's engine. I know you heard it. Actually, I didn't get a chance to hear it the night they fired it up. I wasn't there, and but right now they got it sitting on the engine run stand over there right now. I think the only issue they were having with it was I think one of the plug wires wasn't right, so it was only hitting on 7 cylinders. But other than that, I mean, it seemed to be fine. So, Sonic Steel, Slag Hammer getting side pipes. Don't know yet. I mean, because at the end of the day, the car is going to end up doing drag strip time, event stuff like that. So I'm not really sure. I know we're trying to look for a set of purple hornies to put on it for the hot rod tour. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's going to be some things that are going to change on that car throughout the year. Kind of a little bit of trial error stuff. Appreciate it, Anthony. I mean, that's one thing about a project car, guys. It's never done. As soon as you think it's done, you find something else you want to do with it. Appreciate it, Anthony. CW, are you building the 727? Or are you having it built? I think we're going to try to do it in house. I mean, he's got a few of them sitting there. We just need to go through them and see how it goes from there. I personally have never built a 727, so I'm kind of looking forward if we do it in house. Now, I do have a Nag 1 sitting there at the house that I chartered. I'm really wanting to bite into, but I've always kind of steered away from the trainings, man. I don't know why. Everybody I've talked to, including my cousins and stuff and friends, is like, you know, 727 is one of the easiest transmissions to build. But I don't know. I'll give it a shot and see what happens. Yeah, I just basically just been a motor guy. I just love building motors. Go ahead, Shopcat. Go for Vince, hello from New Jersey. Great job on Slack ever. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, it's like anything else, man. I mean, Anthony, just it's like when I first got into these Gen 3 Hemis. I mean, I didn't know a whole lot about them. I mean, I'm familiar with motors. They all suck, bang, and blow, and fell in love with them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, Shop Cat. Now, speaking of no name nationals, I've had a few guys want to do some call outs and stuff. I got a call out with Wild Rose up in Canada. We've been kind of keeping it hush hush. You know, our thing is we're just more interested in getting our bills done and blowing up hype about, who's going to run who. And I've had a couple other people ask if I wanted to race after that, and I really never gave a yes or a no. I mean, it all depends how the car does. If it does great with the one race, I'll go ahead and take it out again. See, so still, I don't remember if it was ever mentioned, but are you using gas piston hood props? No, I'm not. We actually are doing old school chain on that thing. It's actually a lightweight chain, and I think its rating is like 1,000 pounds, but it's really light. And the two chains I've got on it, probably both of them weigh maybe a pound and a half. And we're just keeping it old school. I've got old style pull pins on the front of it to where if we need to take the whole nose off, we can do that. I mean, it was a cheap conversion. I think I probably got like $30 in it altogether. I appreciate it, Anthony. Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, that whole car is about building on a budget. The average person and make with what you've got. It's like the tubing and stuff that was given to me from a friend of mine that they weren't using. They bought it for a job and had X amount left over. And so we're trying to build as cheaply as possible with the stuff we have. But trying to come up with a way of getting that thing to tilt right. I mean, a lot of people's like, well, go to the junkyard and get the tilt kit off a Saab or something. Which I mean, they're nice little kits and stuff. But me trying to find a Saab around here, my next project. Did you ever put a Gen 3 Hemi in an old car? Not yet, but I'd like to. But I've had some friends that have done it. I tell you, if you want to check Just Mopar Joe. He did the Hemi swap in his Challenger, and I know he's got some videos on that. I think he matched it up with a 4-speed. Appreciate it, Bobby. Have a good evening, man. Thank you for coming in. I hear my next project. I mean, the availability now for the kids to do the swaps are a lot better now. I remember when the Gen 3s first came out, and we have a really big Mopar show that happens here once a year. Music City Mopar puts it on. And talked with a guy that did a Gen 3 conversion, and he said he would never do it again because at the time there was no aftermarket parts for this setup. But now I know Holly and a few other companies now actually make the conversion kits, and it makes it a lot easier on the swaps now. I know on Kiwi's car, the one we're doing for the Gen 3 swap on that, he was actually able to use A body motor mount plates, and it actually worked out pretty good. Oh, I hear my next project, and that's what's weird, man. It's like it's like Ford and LS and stuff like that, or Chevrolet with the LS and stuff. Man, their aftermarket platform was like right on the back door when that motor came out. And for some reason, us Mopar guys, it just lags as far as sport go. But now I'm glad it's finally here or getting here a little better, and the price is starting to come down a little bit. Let's see, kind of off topic, but I'm hauling a trencher from Colorado to Texas, and I'm wondering if there is a truck and trailer specific GPS. I mean, you driving a big truck or what? I mean, there's GPS for truckers. You can find those at Pilot, Flying J, Loves that have truck routing on them. Now, I don't have one personally for my big truck when I drive. I just use regular car GPS because I don't. I mean, the money they want for a trucker GPS, man, is ungodly expensive. I ain't paying that kind of money. So I kind of did old school and got my regular GPS, but I got my map book and everything else. But now with me on a dedicated run, I mean, I don't have to worry about it as much. What's up, Jason's Garage? Oh wow, we've been this over 2 hours and still got 31 people in the room. That's pretty cool. Well, guys, I guess I'm gonna call it a night. and get ready to get me a little bit of sleep here. But I appreciate y'all coming in for my first live. I'm going to try to do this probably like every other Monday. And but I appreciate everybody coming in tonight. Y'all were great. I appreciate the questions, the ideas, what y'all got going on. And I guess I'm just going to call it a night. Good night, everybody. Y'all have a good one. And hopefully here in a couple weeks we do another Monday Night Live. Other than that, y'all have a good one. Will do, Roger. Appreciate it, Vince. My next project. Y'all have a good one.